SecretStories archive opens restricted file EH01. The town of Harrington, 1901, buried something on the hill outside the city limits. Locals call it Empty Hill. The exact contents are unknown. Official records list it as miscellaneous remains, municipal oversight. But unofficial reports suggest otherwise. Aerial photos taken in the 1930s show an irregular mound. Years later, the soil shifted, repeatedly, without explanation. The recovered tape begins at 01:12 a.m. 1998. Grainy VHS, handheld camera, someone walking toward the hill. No name is given, unknown recorder. The camera captures the topography. Barely lit by moonlight, the hill looks normal, until the soil begins moving. Not wind, not animals, large, deliberate shifts, like something alive beneath the surface. A faint glow appears from a shallow depression. Red, orange, and blue lights flickering intermittently. No fire, no artificial lamps. The recorder steps closer. Metallic scraping beneath the dirt. A rhythm, slow, deliberate, almost as if someone is digging. The sound continues far longer than expected, and there is no one visible on the surface. At timestamp 00514, the camera focuses on a half-buried object. Bone fragments, too large for any known animal, curved shapes, jagged ends. They appear articulated, not scattered. A faint light flickers underneath. Camera moves closer. Shadows cast grotesque angles. A long shadow stretches up the hill, not the recorder's. No one is visible. Whispers can be heard. Almost human, almost melodic. Repeating syllables the recorder does not understand. Call, mar, call, mar. The sound continues after the camera pans away. For 3 minutes, no visual changes, just the whispers. The next section of the tape shows lights moving rapidly along the hill. Faint silhouettes appear. 3 figures, tall, hunched, shovels in hand, faces obscured. The recorder whispers, "They shouldn't be here." The figures stop digging. One raises an arm toward the camera. The tape distorts. Horizontal scan lines. The figures vanish from view. The sound continues. Metallic scraping. The shovels are hitting something larger. Rhythmic, patterned. The camera tilts down. Another mound. Fresh soil. Smells of iron and rot. The recorder steps back. Tries to leave the hill. Footsteps heavier than usual. Every step seems delayed. At 001457, the recorder whispers, "It's not the wind, it's following." At 002203, a glowing object emerges from the soil, small, round, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. Camera zooms in. It is organic, bone-colored, cracked, with faint red veins, embedded in mud. The recorder reaches forward. Fingers nearly touch it. A sudden wind hits. The glow jumps, not along the ground, upward. The recorder stumbles. Camera tilts upward. 3 digging silhouettes reappear. No faces visible. Hands raised, standing perfectly still. The glowing object hovers between them and the recorder, then shoots upward, vanished. The silhouettes resume digging. Soil shifts unnaturally fast. The whispers rise in volume, forming words in a long-forgotten dialect. Return, return. The recorder runs, camera wobbling, footsteps uneven, breathing ragged. Behind him, the hill moves, not with him, but against him. Soil rises like waves. Fresh mounds form in impossible shapes. At 002844, a figure blocks the path. Tall, hunched, one arm reaching forward, face remains shadowed. A whisper. The hill keeps its own. The recorder drops the camera. Footsteps continue. Faint metallic scraping still audible. Then silence. The tape ends abruptly. Tape hiss fades out.
The recorder never returned. The camera lay, half buried in loose soil. 3 days later, local police recovered it. The footage picks up again, hours after the initial disappearance. Timestamp 03:11 a.m. The hill appears calm. Moonlight washes over the soil, but movement is still visible. Subtle undulations, like a breathing body beneath the surface. A faint glow emerges again. Red and blue lights flickering unevenly, not from any known source. The camera pans slowly, catching what seems to be bones, ancient, human-like, but elongated, malformed, embedded in the earth, arranged in circular patterns. A single skull rests upright, hollow eye sockets, a grin wide enough to feel in your stomach. The ground shifts beneath it, as if the skull is trying to rise. The recorder's voice whispers off camera. They've been buried here, waiting. The camera shifts toward the sound. 3 silhouettes are digging again. Tall, hunched, faceless. No movement of hands, yet the soil moves in a rhythmic, impossible pattern. The glow hovers again, not from below, but around them. It pulses like a heartbeat. Then the whispers start. Words in a language no human should know. Return what was taken. Return what was taken.
At timestamp 3:28:56, the camera captures the first figure stopping. It slowly turns toward the recorder. Though faceless, the aura of intent is clear. Malice, hunger. The recorder backs away. The hill shifts underfoot. Mounds rise like waves. The ground seems alive. A sudden gust of wind carries a smell. Old earth, iron, decay. The whispers rise to a cacophony. The hill does not forgive. The hill does not forget. A figure points toward the recorder. The glow converges on it. The soil around the recorder rises, forming a small mound. The camera tilts to the side, capturing a hand protruding from the earth. Fingers elongated, tipped with what looks like stone. A soft, terrified gasp. The recorder steps back, tripping. Camera falls. Footage distorts, flickering. The recorder runs down the hill, footsteps uneven, tripping over invisible roots. Behind him, the hill shifts again. The soil moves as if it's alive, closing the path. The metallic scraping continues. Fingers claw through dirt. Figures appear intermittently, shadows stretching impossibly long. At 3:41:12, a bright flash, red, almost painful. The silhouettes vanish. The soil settles. But something remains. The hill continues to breathe, rising and falling slowly. The whispers continue in the distance, soft but persistent. Return, return, Return. The camera captures one final glow, a bone, clean and polished, lying in the grass. Next to it, a small note, yellowed with age. The hill remembers your name. The recorder never speaks again. No further footage exists, no explanation. Locals report. At night, the hill moves. Lights flicker. Shovels scrape the earth, even when no one is there. Some say if you disturb the hill, it will call your name, and the whispers will not stop until it claims you.